E aí, pessoal, tudo beleza? Vamos continuar jogando Her Story. Vamos ver se a gente termina hoje. Não sei se a gente vai conseguir terminar. Ah, eu tô comendo, então. Hum. A gente não achou o primeiro ainda, mas a gente achou o segundo. Será que o primeiro é tipo uma saudação? Tipo, bom dia? Não. Ah, 14 com good. Vamos lá. Esse aqui é em junho.
Yeah, when I was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born. I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything though, I was quite shy, so I wouldn't have liked to have worked a till.
Hum. Nenhum desses é o primeiro, porque tem ordem cronológica. E
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us. Oh, tastes fine to me. As long as it's black and strong, I'm good.
café, vamos pesquisar por café.
Simon's parents offered to put me up, but I didn't think it would be a good idea. It would be too sad. Not right now. I'm staying at a friend's.
Simon morreu.
A cup of tea would be good, thanks. Just one sugar.
Sim. Então tem uma discordância. Aqui ela prefere chá. 3 dias antes ela prefere café. Tem exatamente 5 com café. Isso aqui era no dia 18.
A black coffee, thanks.
É.
No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
Então tem uma discordância que naquele vídeo. Então, uma delas é a Ivy, outra é a Hannah. Uma gosta de café, outra gosta de chá. Ou elas estão fingindo, ou ela tá fingindo ser duas pessoas.
Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from the payphone, and then headed back. About 8 years back, it was a present to myself.
A gente nunca pesquisou tatuagem, vamos pesquisar
I shouldn't
tatuagem.
even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have one cup. No. I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
Ele ofereceu um café pra ela. Esse aqui é outro dia em julho. Esse aqui é o dia antes da revelação.
Coffee, I guess. Milk and sugar.
E agora com açúcar. Tá, vamos pesquisar a tatuagem. 4.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off with the camera.
Tá, então
He
dia
needs them
18,
to see properly.
ela chegou
He
lá
has to read a newspaper or a menu
declarando
on the site.
o desaparecimento
So
do
much,
Simon.
or watching TV. He likes TV.
Tá, pera. Não, eu achei a primeira. não, tá tudo.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
Aham, Eva. Então provavelmente a Eva fez a tatuagem e a Hannah teve que fazer. Então vamos ver se meus tags estão funcionando. Esse é o primeiro então. Vamos ver.
A black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
Esse é o primeiro. Então é por isso que eu coloquei minhas tags, porque agora eu consigo ver os vídeos em ordem. Eu vou mostrar. Tá. Pra puxar. 6. Uma semana depois do aparecimento do Simon.
Cup of tea. Okay. I parked up in the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you.
Deve ser os pais.
Eleanor?
Tá, então apareceu nomes. Então Simon apareceu, Eric, Doug, Só confirmar se é assim que escreve Eleanor. Tá, então, vamos terminar de ver esses aqui e procurar por Eric.
Maybe a fresh cup of tea?
Ele já tomou 2. Eu quero saber quando que ela... Vou procurar por thank you daqui a pouco. Não, aqui é July. Eu corrigi antes que eu esqueça.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road.
Mesma história.
I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. Didn't answer.
Aqui temos Eric, o
I
chefe.
was down on the bed, a couple of hours later, and I was surprised at it. And I remembered who it was and what happened. That's when Eric called it again. All his parents.
Doug e Eleanor são os
And
pais
then
do
I
Simon.
decided,
Tá, esses dois vídeos são idênticos. Tá, então vamos salvar eles. Até a duração é praticamente idêntica. Vou chamar isso aqui de ensaiada. Idêntico, idêntico, idêntico. Tá, aqui vira pra... Ah, thank you. Aqui, ó, exatamente. Tem... Esse aqui... Então, 19:17. 19:26. Quase 10 minutos depois. Mas é do primeiro dia.
Thanks. Please find Simon.
Então isso é no final da entrevista. Huh.
Just the one sugar. Thanks. Is that camera recording?
Interessante.
Black no sugar. Thanks.
Pra ter certeza. Eita, eu queria saber, tipo, mais um. Tá, então vamos lá. Aqui é uma semana depois do desaparecimento do Simon.
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things.
Ah, é, a casa de boneca é
We
onde a
didn't sleep
Eve
in my
morava.
parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
Vou colocar aqui dollhouse, attic, parents, bedroom. E Simon apareceu também.
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
Neto com delas. Por foto, acho que eu não pesquisei ainda.
No, Simon wasn't seeing another woman.
Não era o que eu queria. Mas... Não sei o que é isso. Ah, esse aqui é o dia da revelação.
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull out Hannah's to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. But she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snuck a frozen piece up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronised anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
Já precisei pro drink, né? Já. Como é que a gente tá? Talvez deixar ele aberto aqui do lado e a gente só vai atualizando. Pesquisei por sugar. Não.
Is that camera recording?
Pesquisar pro Eric. Tem muita coisa que a gente não leu ainda. 5 vídeos novos. É esse aqui.
He was wearing a shirt. It's a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house. So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left.
Argument.
On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at The Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either. So,
Argument, Friday, Saturday.
okay, cool.
Então hoje deve ser segunda, imagino. Vamos pesquisar pelo argument depois. Porque é logo depois.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
Esse aqui tem um saldo.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't
Cartão.
like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
Uma semana depois.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Novo nome. Não deve levar a lugar nenhum. Eu pesquisei já por Eve. Deve ter pesquisado, né? Pesquisei. Então, os nomes dos pais do Eric. Doug. Tá, isso aqui já é uma semana depois. Então, tudo daqui em diante é uma semana depois.
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them.
Ele ainda não voltou.
I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us, there's always been pressure.
Eu nem tô notando mais as vezes que aparece Simon.
I hoover, I dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day, you know, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
Não, tá falando dela também, né? De que ela tem um segredo. Ela tem uma gêmea.
1984. It was an awful year in the end.
10 anos atrás.
We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I
Quando
lost
eles
the baby
casaram.
at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot
Ah,
of
a gente tem que
police.
entender a morte dos pais dela.
A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful.
Vamos pesquisar por entomologista, só pra ter certeza. Só nesse vídeo, né? É. Também. Será que conseguiu algum que não foi? Ah, esse aqui.
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
Derramou café. Aqui. Deixa eu assistir isso de novo.
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least
Ah,
once
por
a
isso
day.
que ela tá com duas camisas diferentes nesse
Not
dia.
that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
Vamos lá. Em vez de colocar Dino, eu tinha que colocar só 6.
Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck.
Eu ainda quero entender a morte dos pais dela.
No, I'm okay. Fuck.
Pera, esse aqui é este. Ah não, ele só mostra o que eu acabei de ver. Esse.
Can I leave? Are you going to arrest me? No. They'd laugh you out of the building. A lawyer would make mincemeat of you.
Não consigo digitar. Logo depois.
Are you arresting me? No. Fuck off. Open this door.
O que acontece logo antes?
Can I leave? Are you going to...
Ok.
Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name. We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room, had a great view of the river. and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic. When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him. That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic behind. We used to share dreams. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and compare them. No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. It helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, it just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page. When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left. Walked out and across the street.
E começou a morar na casa de boneca. Que vai ser a próxima coisa que eu vou pesquisar.
Just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
Para a casa de boneca. Uma semana e 2 dias depois do aparecimento do Simon.
Yes, I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories.
Eu não vi mais mensagem batendo na mesa.
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights. The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper, curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
Uhum. Uma semana.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there? What kind of hairs?
Só isso.
No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes.
Ela usou a peruca loura pra seduzir o Sam. Tá, o que mais a gente pode investigar que a gente não investigou ainda? Ele tem uma cicatriz. Ai, que medo. 3 vídeos novos.
There's married couple stuff. A stupid argument, nothing specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to. No. I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
Logo em seguida. Esse aqui já é vários dias depois. É uma semana depois.
Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
Como é que remove? Lembra que ela falou que elas escreviam? Isso aqui com certeza elas ensaiaram. Tá ficando difícil.
No, he was as shy as me. I asked a friend to ask him out for me. We had our first date at the Odeon in North End. We went to see Risky Business. I had on my one best dress.
E elas ficaram
Simon
chocando.
paid. He bought me a whisper, and I was worried about getting chocolate on my teeth.
Era pra escrever dead? Não.
It's all that matters, really. The baby. Simon's dead, but the baby,
Ah, então o Simon morreu
that's how he will live on.
12 dias depois.
Our baby.
Isso aqui é um dia depois daquilo.
You're reaching here. And I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon is dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs? You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing? It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
É, tá falando sobre... Não. Como é que é move?
Rehearsed? You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
Foi ensaiado. Ah, dá pra reordenar. Mas não dá pra remover.
Mum and Dad never knew what was going on. Got so good at it. We were so in sync that we'd use each other to cheat. If one of us had a hangover, the other one would go to school. Whoever was best at a subject would sit the exam. There were lots of differences between us. Some things one is better than the other at.
Vou pesquisar por código. Será que elas vão falar sobre código?
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor.
Acho que foi isso.
Dad thought we had mice, but they couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway.
Ah, eles tinham um gato. A gente já viu que tinha cat flap. Só conferir se fez pares. Fez. Será que eu peguei tudo? Vamos ver se essa mensagem faz sentido. A. Não, a B. É, tem alguma coisa errada. Ali devia ser 5, Baihana. Eu vou ver de novo aqui. Deve ser 1, 5, não 1, 4. Um, dois, três, quatro, cinco. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eu acho que ela cometeu um erro.
Dad thought we had mice.
Ela cometeu um erro. Era pra ser by Hannah, ela digitou bit Hannah. Eu vou ouvir uma última só pra ter certeza que ela errou mesmo. É isso mesmo, ela errou. Vamos pensar sobre o gato. Pronto. E aí eu vou parar. Tem que sair.
No, they were shut. Most of the windows are really hard to open anyway. They're stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door. No cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it. We loved our cat, Domino. He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other. Mum found some of the notes once, and She thought I was just writing to myself because our handwriting was identical. And we had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway.
Então, a essa altura eu tô tentando palavras aleatórias pra preencher.
No. I'm not sure what strange would be, but he hasn't been acting odd. He's been busy at work, but nothing too stressful.
Como que tem raio aqui? Bom, de toda forma tem que parar, que eu tenho que sair. Falta bastante ainda.